in the grand tapestry of Persian kings and warriors. A single woman stitched her legacy so deep into the empire's foundation that her influence outlived entire dynasties. Atossa. You've likely never heard of her history. Made sure of that. She was a queen, a strategist, a power broker who moved kings like pieces on a chessboard. She carried the blood of empires in her veins and whispered into the ears of the most powerful men of the ancient world. But without her, the Persian Empire as we know it may never have reached the heights of glory it did. Daughter of Cyrus the Great, the founding father of the Achaemenid Empire and the man who would later lead Persia into war with Greece, Atossa was more than just royalty. She never led armies, never held the title of ruler, and yet emperors listened when she spoke. Unlike many ancient societies, women in Persian aristocracy enjoyed certain freedoms: education, ownership of property, and even political influence. But none held a candle to or because her power defied the norms of her time. And perhaps the most powerful woman the world has never known. She learned early that influence often lived behind veils, not thrones. When Cyrus died in battle in 530 BCE, Atossa's world shifted. This union secured her position at the heart of the court. Into this vacuum stepped Darius, a brilliant military commander with distant royal ties. His rise to power was questionable. He claimed divine support, but many suspected assassination. Her brother Cambyses, too, ascended to the throne, a harsh and unstable ruler by many accounts. His reign saw the conquest of Egypt, but also the alienation of nobles and priests. Born in the golden age of Persia, Atossa entered the world amidst splendor and conquest. She observed royal councils, sat with advisors, and learned to listen and when to speak. Her father, Cyrus the Great, had united the Medes and the Persians, founding what would become the largest empire the world had yet seen. He was not just a king, he was a legend in his own time. And Atossa was his favorite daughter. Atossa argued that the future of the empire depended on continuity with its founder. She was his counselor, his protector, his guide. When he eventually ascended the throne, he led with a vision shaped not just by his father's wars but his mother's wisdom. Darius, convinced by her reasoning and perhaps influenced by her force of will, agreed. So why did history forget her? By wedding the daughter of Cyrus, Darius linked himself to the founder of the empire. It was Atossa's lineage that gave him credibility. Was it because she ruled from the shadows? She became queen of queens, the empress of the known world. Atossa bore Darius several children, but it was Xerxes who would inherit the empire. Why? Because of Atossa. This is the story of Atossa, the queen behind the curtain, the mother of kings, the daughter of a godlike conqueror. Yet it was Atossa who persuaded him to name Xerxes as his successor. This was unprecedented. Persia in the 6th century BCE was a realm of order, religious tolerance, and sophisticated governance. She knew the factions, the nobles, the priesthood. She understood that legacy was more than conquest, it was narrative. Raised in the imperial court of Pasargadae, Atossa was educated not just in domestic arts, but in politics, languages, history, and diplomacy. Her mother Cassandane was a noble woman in her own right, respected for her wisdom and grace. But it was Cyrus who instilled in Atossa a vision of leadership. According to later Greek sources like Herodotus, Cyrus deeply valued his daughter's intellect, often consulting her in matters of state. Atossa grew up not just witnessing power but understanding it. Amidst this chaos, Atossa married her brother. It was not uncommon in Persian royal families to marry within the bloodline. It preserved the divine right to rule. But Cambyses' erratic rule ended in mystery. Some say he died accidentally. Others whisper of a coup, and here Atossa made her most fateful choice. She married Darius. This was no ordinary marriage. It was a political alliance that legitimized Darius' rule. And through this marriage, Atossa gained not just a crown but influence. According to Herodotus, Darius had other sons, older and more battle-hardened. She appealed to bloodline. Xerxes, unlike his half-brothers, was the grandson of Cyrus. His blood was pure, his destiny divine. But this was not just maternal love, it was strategy. Atossa knew the court, And in securing Xerxes' position, she wrote that narrative herself. As Xerxes grew, Atossa mentored him in the art of leadership.